I have a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling and a bachelor's degree in psychology.
Do you think it's possible to have no fears?
No, it's not possible to have no fears. Everybody's afraid of something.
Can fear interfere with ambitions?
Yeah, fear can definitely hold a person back from achieving their goals. For example, public speaking. If somebody wants to be even simply an office manager, if they have a large fear of public speaking, it's going to be hard to motivate employees.
Is there a relationship between fear and anxiety? Does fear cause anxiety?
Um, I think fear and anxiety are pretty much the same thing. To the point where you can just say anxiety is another way to describe a type of fear.
Why do you think that anxiety disorder is the number one mental disorder in the United States? 18% of adults in the US have it.
Um, Anxiety is very prevalent because people spend a lot of time thinking about things they cannot control. Typically, when a person's anxious, they're focused on the future as opposed to being in the moment. Um, Even the way we approach society, it's always, what are you going to do next? It's always looking to the future as opposed to focusing on what we can control in the moment.
How should people deal with fears?
Um, there's no best case scenario on how to deal with fears, um, but there are definitely some wrong ways to do it. Um, Probably what I would consider best case would be it's called systematic desensitization. So, like, you're gradually exposed to a fear until you become more comfortable with it.
What do you think is the worst way that people deal with fear?
The worst way that people can deal with fear, it's called flooding. So, like, if a person's afraid of, say, dark, small spaces, to just like throw them in an elevator with no light, um, that would be the worst way to deal with fear.
What is the best way to deal with anxiety?
Um, I believe the best way to deal with anxiety is to remain focused in the moment that you're in. Identify what you can and cannot control. As I said before, I think fear and anxiety are synonymous, and people have an inherent fear of the unknown and what they cannot control.
Fear can be described as the imagination creating the worst possible scenario. Do you think that fear can be used to prepare us for the worst, or that it keeps us from our goals?
To an extent, it can keep us from our goals, like I said before, about, say, the fear of public speaking and having a career that you would have to speak publicly. But as a survival mechanism, I also think that it comes up with the worst case scenario so that we know what to expect.
Thank you.